Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tare, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. Today I'm up to song number 2728, and that one is Whatever Gets You Through the Night by John Lennon. This was released in 1974, both as a single and on his album entitled Walls and Bridges. It's basically the same picture on both. I guess kind of a triple. I don't know if he's actually wearing four pairs of sunglasses. He was famous for his shaded eyeglasses, as I'm sure you all know. Um, and This song actually went to number one. It was his first number one. He had two number one solo songs. This was his first. His only other one was his posthumous number one, Just Like Starting Over, which went to number one right after he was tragically killed. Um, and I don't know. I mean, this was never one of my favorite of John Lennon's songs. I'm actually pretty surprised it went to number one. I think the main reason it did was because Elton John he recorded it live. He performed it live. Here's a picture of John Lennon, by the way. One of the better pictures I like of him. Pretty iconic face, and again, he's wearing the eyeglasses with a round lenses, and here he is in concert with Elton John. Elton John played electric piano along with him on Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And that's probably why it went to number one. It was a live recording. I'm not sure where it was, but it was a very big, popular concert featuring Elton. I think it was Elton John's concert, and John Lennon was just a guest who performed this song in concert. So, pretty iconic moment. Elton John and John Lennon, two of the greatest, I think, two of the greatest rock musicians of all time, performing together in concert. And I guess I have just one more thing to say about that. I know that Elton John and John Lennon were good friends. I even watched I watched a televised conference where Elton John performed Imagine, which I think was John Lennon's greatest songs and one of their greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. Elton John performed that song at one of his concerts. Did a really excellent job, I thought. And he also wrote a very famous tribute to John Lennon shortly after he died. He wrote the song Empty Garden, Hey Hey Johnny. So I think it's great that they were good friends, and certainly two of the greatest musicians that ever lived. And, I really don't have anything else, I guess, to say about this song, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. Like I said, I don't think it's a great song. And even for a number one song, it wasn't a very big hit. I think it just barely made the top 100 songs of 1974, which is pretty unusual for a number one song. I mean, most number one songs come in pretty high on Billboard's year-end charts, but this one didn't. It just barely made it. But it's not a bad song, which is why I put it on my list. And of course, John Lennon, like I said, one of the greatest musicians of all time. Tragic murder. Um, we lost one of the greatest musicians that ever lived that day. I remember it, December 8th, 1980. I was at the University of Michigan, and I heard the news. I was in my dorm. I heard some, kids, yelling about it. They were pretty hysterical. They just heard that he was shot and killed. Turned on my stereo, and they were playing Imagine. It was the first time I ever heard the song Imagine, and you can imagine how that moved me, pardon the pun. But anyway, so I guess that concludes my profile on Whatever Gets You Through the Night by John Lennon. And I have several other of his songs coming up on my list. And, I already featured one. I featured Woman. I think that was number 2806, not one of my favorite John Lennon songs. But some of them did come in very high. I'm not going to say how high. But anyway, that completes my profile of Whatever Gets You Through the Night by John Lennon. I thought I'd leave you guys with one of his quotes. This was the quote he said at the end of their Beatles rooftop performance of Get Back. He said, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves, and I hope we pass the audition. He had a pretty crazy sense of humor. which he was known for. Anyway, anyway, that concludes my video. Thank you for watching. Rock on, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.